When work piles up, maintaining balance when feeling overwhelmed. Abstract. This article explores with research-backed strategies for maintaining balance and preventing burnout when feeling overwhelmed by high workload demands. The article begins by defining job overload and identifying common warning signs. It explores how to gain control over workload expectations and self-care through prioritizing tasks, setting boundaries, strengthening support systems, and integrating proactive approaches. Specific techniques are grounded in academic literature on stress management, social support, and resilience. Real-world industry examples illustrate applying concepts across fields experiencing perpetual pressure. Long-term considerations around career strategizing and developing resilience habits are also addressed. The overarching message is that by combining workload audits, communication skills, self-care routines, and social resources, professionals can sustain performance and well-being even during taxing work periods, thereby maximizing career longevity and life satisfaction. As a leadership consultant and professor, I've seen countless professionals struggling under mounting deadlines and responsibilities. While taking on a lot is often part of the job, continually extending ourselves to the point of overload can damage not only our work but also our well-being. Fortunately, there are proactive strategies we can employ to regain control when we start to feel overwhelmed. With a bit of planning and priority setting, it's possible to stay focused yet flexible in heavy work periods. Today we will explore practical tips and tools on balancing professional and personal obligations. We'll explore the psychological and physiological impacts of stress, along with research-backed methods for preventing and recovering from overwhelm. Defining and detecting overload. So what exactly constitutes feeling overwhelmed? While a moderate level of challenge can be motivating, true overwhelm arises when job demands consistently exceed our perceived capacity to cope. Lazarus and Folkman. 1984. The first step in getting a handle on our workload is recognizing the early warning signs that we may be headed for overload. Some common indications include consistently working late into the evenings and weekends just to keep up, frequently missing deadlines or commitments due to time constraints, short temper, impatience or irritability spreading to interactions outside of work, difficulty concentrating and lower productivity despite long hours, increased mistakes or lapses in quality due to mental fatigue, physical symptoms like insomnia, headaches or gastrointestinal issues. If several of these apply, it's probably time to take a step back and assess where non-essential responsibilities could be redistributed or minimized. Ignoring signs of overload often leads to deeper stress that impacts not just work performance but also relationships and health. Early intervention is key. Managing job demands and expectations. Once we've identified feeling overwhelmed as an issue, the next step is gaining control over the root causes through managing workload, expectations and self-care. Let's examine some research-backed strategies for each. Workload management. A key contributor to overwhelm is an inability to say no to new tasks and commitments. However, research shows that prioritizing the most important 20% of our work can deliver 80% of the value. Covey. 1989. With that in mind, audit all responsibilities and categorize as must do, should do, or could do. Set clear boundaries and be selective about extra duties. Reallocate non-essential work or explore available support. Use tools like to-do lists and calendars to track commitments. For example, when a finance manager I coached found herself constantly working evenings, we analyzed her tasks. She realized over 50% were low-value meetings and status updates that others could reasonably take over. Freeing up just a few hours per week made a big difference in her stress levels. Expectations. Unrealistic expectations, whether self-imposed or from others, also fuel overwhelm. We need strategies to Communicate capacity clearly to colleagues and leadership. Seek feedback on priorities from managers. Be transparent when extra time is required and negotiate deadlines proactively. Avoid perfectionist tendencies and learn to compromise. Focus on outcomes rather than activity levels. For instance, a director at a tech startup used 1:1 meetings to explain to his VP exactly how many projects his small team could reasonably take on each quarter given their bandwidth. Setting proper expectations up front prevented last-minute crunches. Self-care. No strategy works without also making time for renewal. Researchers link poor self-care to increased burnout and lower performance. Maslow et al. 2001. Core self-care practices include sticking to a healthy diet and staying hydrated, exercising regularly to burn off stress hormones, getting quality sleep and avoiding screens before bed, carving out relaxing activities and social time for unwinding, using vacation days fully to recharge mentally and physically, practicing mindfulness, meditation, or other stress relief techniques. A human resources executive I worked with, for example, blocked out weekly yoga sessions, which she found tremendously helpful in staying centered amid long hours. Another scheduled daily walks with coworkers to build relationships while boosting physical and mental health. Tapping support systems even with proactive workload management. We will all have periods where stress levels spike. It's during these times that tapping our personal support network proves invaluable. Research underscores that strong social connections form a protective buffer against anxiety, depression and health issues related to chronic pressure. Holt Lundstedt et al. 2010. Ensure you communicate honestly with friends and family about pressures at work. Don't isolate. Make plans to socialize and have fun regularly. Consider professional coaching, counseling or employee assistance programs. Join or start wellness initiatives at work like meditation groups. Help out colleagues facing overwhelm through workload borrowing. The director mentioned earlier found that delegating pieces of projects to junior team members not only built their skills but also lightened his load. He maintained balance by spreading responsibility across the division. His leadership and example motivated others to do the same when needed. Integrating strategies to make real change. An integrated multi-pronged approach works best for preventing and escaping overwhelm, while specific tactics will differ by industry and individual. Successful professionals generally audit work periodically to optimize processes, cut non-essentials and build slack. Set proper expectations early through clear communication. Schedule strategic breaks. Relaxation and self-care non-negotiables. Build a dependable personal and professional support system. Reinforce new limits and routines through accountability. Taking a holistic long-term view is important. For a sales executive I mentored, the key was not just pruning tasks each quarter but also establishing capacity boundaries with her manager and clients long-term to avoid seasonal burnouts. Over time, consistent yet flexible application of key strategies can help you thrive under pressure without feeling constantly overloaded. Making adjustments for the long haul while overwhelm is often situational. Some personalities and professions may face chronic stress that requires ongoing diligence. 2 additional tools can strengthen your ability to maintain equilibrium. Career strategizing. Assessing fit within your role and industry is wise. Opportunities exist for lateral moves, skills switches, further education, or reduced hours to better control demands. For maximum fulfillment and longevity, aim to find work that taps your strengths yet doesn't cripple work-life fit. Resilience practices. Research links traits like adaptability, optimism, self-awareness, and social support to job resilience. Luthans et al. 2006. Develop your ability to recalibrate under pressure through reframing difficulties positively and learning from mistakes. Strengthening self-efficacy through ongoing growth. Managing emotions constructively without negativity. Assertively seeking help from advisors and empathetic listeners. An HR VP who worried about burnout developed executive coaching to boost positivity and flexibility over time. Now she navigates transitions with greater perspective. Resilience strategies build capacity for longevity. Conclusion: feelings of being overwhelmed at work are common yet surmountable with diligent self-awareness and care. By detecting warning signs early, gaining perspective on job demands, nurturing self-care habits and tapping our village of support, we can sustain high performance under pressure without compromising our well-being or relationships over the long run. While external variables may contribute to overwhelm, maintaining control of what's within our power through integrated strategies gives us the upper hand. With commitment, prevention, and early intervention, it is possible to stay engaged yet balanced even when workload piles up.